folks, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. This time we're working on our XC60. Now if you want to find out all about buying this, it was a private purchase and I'm loving it, to be honest. But if you want to find out, take a look at the other videos. I'll put them down the bottom. Buying an XC60. Now this time we're going to solve a little niggly problem that's been driving me crazy. Now to be fair, the seller did tell me about it when I bought the car, so I knew about it and I just thought, you know what, we'll solve it. So here we go, we'll take a look. So here we go on our 2012 XC60, and you'll see the problem. I'll pop the boot. So this is the one with the power boot, which I love. It goes up and it kind of droops back down again, and it's not supposed to do that, obviously. And what I've been tending to do, if I need to put stuff in and out of the boot, what you then do, that's a heavy old boot lift as well. You lift it up, you bounce it on your head like that, and then you can put stuff in and out of the boot. Less than ideal, really. Now the electrics are definitely working properly. I can press the button and it'll happily close itself, and it'll pop back open again, and it'll droop down. So what is the problem? Well, these struts, they're a combination of gas and electric. So they've got the regular gas strut inside, but they've also got the electric motor that drives the up and down. And I suspect, like most gas struts, the gas has failed on one or both of them. So what I've done is I've looked them up. They're quite pricey actually, because they come as a complete unit, obviously. And so I thought what I'll do is I'll buy one, and we can see if we can change the ends, because you do buy them left or right, but I'm not sure whether you need to. So what I think I'm going to do is prop the boot up, take this right hand strut off, and then we'll take a look at it and see if we can figure out what's wrong with it, whether it is just the gas, and what sort of fix it'll be, and whether I have ended up with an expensive repair or not. Let's see. Before we dive straight in, here's the replacement. Because what we can do is look at the replacement strut, and we can see what it looks like, and whether it's actually going to be any good before we put it on the car. So let me get this unpacked and we'll take a look. And here it is. You can see it's got the standard sort of push fit ball joint connectors on either end. We've got the electrical connections. Now interestingly, the electrical connection does say right hand. So with it saying right hand on it, it does suggest that somehow these are handed, or they go around a certain way. So I think what we need to do is go and fasten the car boot up so it's not going to fall on me when I take one of the struts off. Let's take the right hand one off and take a look and see what it's like. Something that I notice, where the wiring loom goes in, is into this plastic, so I think I need to try and take this off. It's just a couple of torques, and then I think it's a push fit. I'm hoping this will get me to the electrical connection easily, and it's not going to be too difficult to get at. Don't really want it to be behind this, because I don't want to take the entire boot apart just yet anyway. Right, these are all just push clips. Let's see if that gets me anywhere. Not really. It looks like this fabric does need to come off, so it's another few torques underneath, and I'm guessing somewhere around the buttons and this plastic hinge here. I'm going to see if I can do it without taking too much apart, because I'd rather not take everything apart if I can help it. Well, I spent a little bit of time. What I've done is unscrewed the handle and taken that off. By the way, there's a little clip that I've managed to snap on there, so watch for that at the top end when you take it out. I took the light out. That was fairly straightforward, just little clips either side of it. You can be careful with that. Didn't need to take this plastic off. You'll see that you can kind of hook your way around it, and then if you pull at the edges, you can just see one there, the yellow push pop clips, and there's a couple of them. That one doesn't look in great shape over there, but now that we've got that out, you can see, or hopefully you can see, the connector just sat there, which threads along in the bodywork and comes out there. So we've found it. It's quite difficult to film this as well, the position of it. So now that I know where the electrical connector is, I think I'm going to try and take the strut itself off. Actually, at this point I should probably mention my pal Ian. When I was doing this on, I think it was a Corsa, he correctly spotted that I was doing it a slightly brutal way. On this, what you do is you get the screwdriver in and you pull this little piece of metal out. You can see it kind of pops back in, but if you do that and then just gently prise it, it'll come straight out. Again, it's easier to do with two hands by popping that slightly and then just twizzle the end of it. You shouldn't need too much force. Yeah, so I'm needing to use too much force so that hasn't popped out. Let me put the camera down and I'll do that. See how easy that was? And that's what it's supposed to be like. So let me just do the bottom one. Just pop the little clip out. There we go. Right. Now that we've got this released, they are really tough to move, but I'll tell you what, I'm not sure whether that's working or not. I don't know if they should extend out all the way. So we've got this one, let's get this one replaced. Get the rubber grommet off. Not sure how much of this you'll actually be able to see, because it's really difficult to film. Hopefully you get the idea of what I'm doing. Now the rubber grommet's out, what I can do is go along the top here and disconnect the electrical connection. Got it. It won't fit through the gap because I haven't taken the retaining clip off. There we go. Right, let me show you the connector because it is a bit fiddly to do. Let me take you in here and show you the connector. So that's pushed onto the frame of the car, and what you do to disconnect it is you push in here, and in that hole is the other half of the connector, which has got a little pin that sticks out. When you push that and pull it apart, it comes apart. So next job is to compare the pins inside. Pins inside are all identical, which is good. Now let's slide this little retaining clip off. Again, kind of fiddly stuff. But unlike most of my other cars, I'm actually trying to be careful, because I would like to maintain this car, there we go, as much as I can. So now that's off, I can slide that on to the replacement like that. That means it's going to fit in place. And now let's mount it. I actually think it's going to be easier if I clip this end on first, then I don't have to hold on to the strut whilst I do this. Now what you've got to find is the little hole in the bodywork where it feeds through. Might have been a better idea to thread this carefully rather than just pull the old one out and push the new one in like I've done. So there's a little tip for you. Thought I'd take you in and show you whereabouts we're looking. So you pass the wire in here and then we go inside down to here, and there's actually the hole in the bodywork where the wire comes out is here. So it's actually not as bad. You can hear I've actually got the end of the connector there at the end. So all you do is push, give it some excess wire, and I should be able to grab it and pull it through with my hand. It's not too bad. Again, a bit fiddly. If I'd thought ahead and attached a bit of string to the old connector, would have made this job a bit easier. There we go, success. And now just get the connector the right way around. Plug it back in, that's the connector clicking into place. Push that back onto the little bracket. That's it nice and tidy. Put the rubber grommet back in, get it nice and watertight. Plastic trim's back in place. Lighter handle. I've just pushed both struts, sorry, not both struts, both sides in and locked it, and I've taken my temporary handle off. Just check that these are pushed in. Yep. And now let's let go. It's staying up. Where's the keys? Where's the keys? Need to find the keys. Where did I leave the keys? Got the keys. Don't want to shut the keys in the boot. Right. All the trim is kind of back in place. Oh, there we go. Just needs bashed back in. I've put all the retaining screws and things back in. Let's press the button. Kind of assumed for a bit more than that. I'm going to guess there's some sort of calibration needed here. It stays up though. Calibration time, I think. Well, I've not solved the problem. It doesn't seem to like the new strut, if I press the button on the boot, it kind of keeps stopping and it won't open or close properly. It's like it keeps feeling too much resistance on the new struts. Now you can see it's gone into manual mode, and supposedly you can reset it by pressing the button for more than 3 seconds, and apparently that resets the system and sets the tailgate height. But you see, keeps stopping. I think it thinks that there's something in the way, and I'm not quite sure how to reset that problem. I mean, you can just manually open and close the boot, so it's not a huge problem, but it's a bit of a pain. So I'm going to have to figure that one out. I'm not quite sure whether to call that a win or a lose, to be honest. The boot doesn't drop now, so at least if I open the boot, it stays up. But the power tailgate, it doesn't like it. There's something not quite right. It doesn't seem to like the resistance or the force. I suspect it needs a reset somewhere in the software, and I don't know how to do that. If you do know, put a comment down the bottom. Please do subscribe to the videos. If I find a fix, I'll put it in the description, or I'll do a follow-up video, don't worry. But fingers crossed I can figure this one out. It's a little bit frustrating. So there we go. So that's the tailgate sort of repair on the Volvo XC60. I'll see you next time.